Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Shivlon Faithful. My name is Doug. It's good to have you back. Hello. Hope you're having a good week. If not, if you haven't had a good week, I hope it gets better. I really do. It's good to have you here. I appreciate you taking up the 5 or 10 minutes to watch my video today. This new one. I appreciate you doing that very much. I will ask that if you will please like and subscribe and comment and share with other good people as well, this video and the ones in the future as well. Um, the like on social media to me on this YouTube channel, the like symbol when you hit the like, to me is kind of like the equivalent if you're off your computer and you're outside and you're walking across the parking lot, or you go into your car, or you're walking to the grocery store, or you're just walking down the sidewalk, or wherever it may be. You're meeting other people, you're crossing other people on your path, coming and going. As you see somebody, if you come up to somebody and you say hi to somebody as they're crossing you and they say hi back to you, that's kind of like a like. You're giving them approval, like, hey, hello, how are you? You're trying to be friendly. That's the equivalent of the like, especially if you like the video. Uh, if you feel like the person is distrustworthy or a danger to you, you're definitely not going to be uh, uh, saying hello, I don't imagine. You might be running for your life. Save yourself. But hopefully, in this case, you don't feel like I'm that kind of a person. I hope you don't feel like I'm a bad influence. Please hit the like and subscribe. Subscribe is good because it lets you know whenever I put out my next video. Because I don't keep a set standard. I don't do it every Thursday, every Tuesday, etc., etc. I change. It all depends on what I feel like are good topics to talk about at the time. So this will let you know automatically. So please subscribe. I've got 15 people who are subscribers, and I appreciate every single one. I really do, because you've invested your time and your efforts. You made the small effort to hit that subscribe button. That's all it took. And to be notified, I appreciate you being part of my channel, part of my family, so to speak. I appreciate you very much. And I would like to go from 15 on the number wise, from 15, which I currently have at the beginning of this video, to 20 is my next goal. 20 people who are subscribing. So please, for those who have not subscribed yet, who are watching this right now, please subscribe as well. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. So thank you in advance for doing so. And also comment. I would like to hear your comments, pro or con, as long as it's civil, as you would bring up whatever topic it is, as long as it's civil. If you disagree with me on this and that, that's fine. You have the right to do so. I'm going to reply back to you in a civil manner, and we'll just discuss it briefly, appropriately, and all that. It's good to have comments. Last comment I had in my last video last Monday, 4 days ago, that last one, the person mentioned that they could hardly hear me, which surprised me because as I replayed it back, uh, myself to see if it was good volume. It was, but still, nonetheless, I told them thank them for their input, and I told them I would increase my recording um, volume, which I did for this one for them. So please give your comments and also share with other good people. That would be really helpful. If you see something good, even from a guy like me who's not famous, who's just uh, a regular guy who's nothing glitzy or fancy about me, etc., etc. If you feel like it's good content, short and good content, and you feel like it'd be help with other people, two things. Once again, subscribe because that'll increase the ability for YouTube to share it with other people out there by doing that with their algorithms, but also to share it with a share button with other good people as well. It might be help to somebody out there. I want to talk about one main topic today instead of two like last time. Just one today from maybe a couple different angles, ways to approach it. I want to talk. A topic for today is about immigration, legal versus illegal immigration. Uh, to me, if you're gonna legally spend the time and effort to try to have the right to step to cross the border legally, you know, and come into our country through legal means, either through a visa and or through other means to whatever may be, all the procedures there with immigration authorities. If you spend that time and effort to do so, I highly respect you. And I want to pat you in the back and say thank you for doing it the right way. Even though it takes a lot of effort and years sometimes to become a citizen, especially. So thank you very much for doing so. That's opposed. Now, opposed to that are those who have decided to do it the easy, sneaky way of coming across, especially our southern border, especially during the time of Joe Biden, the 4 years under that terrible president, if he really was a president. Nonetheless, that's a different topic for another day. But all the millions and millions and millions of people that came across in those 4 years illegally, even if you have good intent, so to speak, that you want to have a better life for you and or your family. Yeah, most of the people come across as single, young, fairly young males, not families. Families did come across from time to time, or mothers with their children. There's a lot I won't go into that right now, but for those who try to rationalize and say, "Oh, I'm trying to make a better life. I'm not a terrorist. I'm not part of a sleeper cell." Even though those did cross our border, I'm sure of it during those 4 years, and are in our country right now. Uh, I'm not a criminal. I'm not a rapist. I'm not a murderer, and they may not be from their home country. I'm just a regular person who wants to make a better life. I'm tired of being poor. I want America is I can get welfare benefits and maybe a job, make extra money, but especially the welfare to start off with. You're trying to make your life better economically, and maybe have more freedoms. But there's two ways of looking upon life: the ends justifies the means, or the ends does not justify the means. So for me, I believe in the latter. You should do things the right way. If you have a good goal in sight, the ends, the means of how to do it legally and properly is the way to do it. That shows that shows a sign of your character or lack of it, depending on which way you choose. If you choose to come across the border illegally, you're trying to make excuses to be more important than the way you crossed it. You're trying to say, "Well, I know I crossed the border legally, but I'm doing it to make a better life." That doesn't wash. If you do it legally, as I mentioned before, those have sacrificed their time and their waiting and their patience and all that to come across legally and to become citizens one day. Those people I respect, and I enjoy having them in our country. By golly! But if you do it illegally, you're trying to do it on the cheap. That's one term, old term, in an improper, illegal way, and doesn't show good intent. So for those who say that they've never they never robbed anybody in the country, et cetera, or hurt anybody while they're in the country, the United States of America, you already have committed. When you crossed the border illegally, you became a criminal. A criminal is somebody that has broken the law. Whether you like that law or not, whether you approve of that law or not, if it's on the books, if you've broken the law, that all automatically makes you a criminal. And that does not go away until you make amends. I really feel like people that have come across the border illegally, President Trump has already put down the $1,000 he's willing to give them when they and a free ticket home. The $1,000 is when they have arrived in that country and are registered, proven the fact that they have arrived in their home country. Then you'll make sure that they get that $1,000, which is wise. But to me, I think there's different ways of doing this. But to me, I think anybody that's come over here illegally and has been in this country for 2 weeks or 20 years and never been honest about it with the authorities, they need to pay. If they want to become citizens, they need to go back to their home countries. They speak that language. It's not going to be a hard thing for them. Go back to the countries, apply to immigrate, and also they would have to, since they were already here illegally, they have to be responsible and accountable, responsible for your actions. To me, they would have to pay a $5,000 fine or fee to begin the process to immigrate and to even begin it legally. And then on top of that, they would be on the bottom of the list, not middle or top, but on the bottom of the list, even after the $5,000 fee for each person. that they want to come across or return. Pay that fine, get back and get your house in order with us, so to speak. Uh, be responsible and accountable for your previous actions. Pay that fine. Be at the bottom of the list. Work your way up until you can get until you can immigrate properly that time and become a citizen. That's just one way of doing it. There's other ways. Maybe I'll hear different ways on your comments here, which I'll be happy to listen to you. Oh, so once you're in this country, instead of trying to get away with just speaking Spanish in all your interactions by calling this company that company and pressing 2 or 9 or whatever it is to get the person who speaks Spanish at that company, because you don't want to speak with English. In the old days, they would learn English as fast as they could. They really would. They were serious. They knew this country was a great country. And they wanted to become Americans above and beyond wherever they were before from their home countries. And they would strive to learn that language first and foremost. And if they still didn't know it enough to communicate with other people in their interactions in their city, they would grab one of their people from their who speak their language, who speaks English very well, with them to interpret for them, translate for them while they're dealing until they learn the language themselves. Instead of having to rely, see, that's where you would supply the manpower yourself to communicate. Not trying to force all these companies to have Spanish speaking workers to make it easy for you. Because if you do that, you never have to learn English. You get away with that, not having to learn it. That's not showing respect for your country. If you're American, you go to France and you want to move there and you're in there, you should be expected to speak French, to learn French. Same with Italy and all the other countries in the world, Japan, all the other countries. But when you're in America, the language is English. You need to learn English, learn the traditions. We've had our ups and downs in the country. We made ourselves a more perfect union over time by overcoming our weaknesses. We have overcome and stopped slavery, for the biggest example in our country, in our republic. We've overcome and stopped that. And other things we've made better as well over the since 1776. If you love the country and the good traditions, good history, good culture, not the bad, but primarily above and beyond all the good things about this great nation of ours, the United States of America, then you'll want to learn as much as you can about the country, become a true citizen with your loyalties and obedience in this country, not any other country in the world, but this country, because that's why you came here supposedly, and to learn the language and speak that primarily, and be a good blessing and asset and help to your country, America. And that's what I like to see around me. Those are what I call good people, really good people that I enjoy having in our country. So that's my spiel for the day. This one is not a short video. It takes a little bit longer. The immigration thing is not something you can talk about really quick sometimes, but that's how I feel about it. I we have our bounds with even with legal immigration. There's only so many people you can take into a country. You can't flood us even with legal immigration. You gotta have limits, and you gotta have people who have good intent coming here, et cetera, et cetera. As they did back in the days of Ellis Island, they would check out to see if you were ill intent, if a help, if you had a sponsor, if you had a job, et cetera, et cetera. They would check all those things first before they let you into our country. Same principle here. Uh, The Lord loves a lawful community, a lawful people, people that obey the law. He loves obedience, does he not? Obedience is better than sacrifice. You remember that from the Old Testament? Uh, the other angle I want to mention here is when I joined the church. I joined the church many years ago with the intent to come closer into Christ, unto Jesus Christ. And I wanted to learn to be a better man and a good member of the church. So I had to dump many of my previous attitudes and behaviors I had before I joined the church. And I was happy to do so and eager to do so. Same principle, but in a different way, in a religious thing as well. I didn't come into the church expecting them to allow me to live my previous lifestyle. That would be totally crazy. Oh, why would I do that? Or to talk the way I used to, which is really coarse language back then, to be able to talk that way in church, they would not allow me to do that. And I came here to be a better man, as you hopefully in the immigration part want to become Americans legally and properly to become Americans, most best of all in the world. Same principle. I love you all. If you've been having a tough week or a tough day, or maybe tough days in the future may come upon you, hang in there. Be strong and of good courage, as I've said many times before in this channel. Hang in there and look into Christ in all things. Pray, 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 and listen and obey. And you'll be able to handle those things better. Things will get better in some ways, and for those things that do not get better right away, maybe later on, but not right away, they'll give you the strength and the endurance to deal with it with a better attitude and a strong heart. I love you all. You take care. Bye.